Are you saying that because you're judging her for Kellyanne saying you got an OnlyFans that does well, and now you're like, oh, Tori, take it off easily for Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yo,
We're
this
just
doggy style
surviving.
will be immaculate by the end of this.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can. We wanted the smoke, so let's bring the fire. We're igniting the drama and chaos. This is Matches of Mayhem. We are your ride or die hosts, Nora, the Vendetta Queen, Victor, the Duel Master, and E-Rock, the Double Agent. Get ready for a reckoning as we dive into the gauntlet of Season 40 of the challenge, Battle of the Eras. We are in the finale. And congrats to Jordan for winning this. Congrats.
Congrats.
I know it's week one, but congrats.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much, it seems like they're just taking off with it and dominating fashion.
I want to congratulate Kylan on his doggy paddle skills.
Yo,
We're
this
just
doggy style
surviving.
will be immaculate by the end of this.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
He's
yeah,
just surviving. That's it.
yeah. So this is End of an Era, Part 1. That's the episode. And we are in the finale. And so far, we've seen 4 checkpoints and some domination and some not so good performances. So I'll open it up. What do y'all think?
I'll let you go first.
I mean, I think Jordan has, I think, one of the highest final percentages in terms of when he plays, he wins. I think they're all might have a higher one than him, but I mean, and he shows it. I mean, he's dominating. When he's swimming, he's taking off full throttle ahead of everybody. He's setting the pace. He's keeping the pace. He's performing well with the puzzles. I mean, I think Jordan's just opening up to, unless there's something, the second half is something completely different. I think it seems like Jordan has this. I had higher hopes for Kylan, but it being an all-water final so far, I have no hope for him in this. Maybe if it was a regular, the usual types of challenges where they're running, a little bit of water, a lot of running puzzles, that he has a chance, but no, not this at all. And I'm surprised that Jenny, I just surprised about Jenny. But I think Michelle had a first place in one of them, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but she also has a last place in there. So
Yeah.
it's looking a little tenuous. I mean, Nora, are you kind of pissed that Jenny's running away with it?
Yes, I'm in general. I like that it's swimming because I like swimming. So I get excited for anything with water, oceans. I get really excited for those challenges. And I do think it's a nice switch up, but it's kind of now like 4 checkpoints in, I'm kind of getting bored of the water. Well, the 4th one, I guess, is them doing the coin thing, but I'm kind of getting bored. I kind of want to see a little switch up. So I'm thinking that'll be the next day. Our next episode is we'll probably get a little bit more land and more actual puzzles, I guess, or more kind of switch up. I did find probably the most confusing of the whole episode is how they're doing recaps of people's lives and like Jenny's personal life. And I'm like, okay, so she won. We got it. Thank you. Like, I mean, there's no point to watch this anymore. We had to learn about her twin sister and births. And I'm like, but this is a finale. This isn't the recap episode. So are you pretty much just telling us we don't need to tune in next week? Because it's done. It's a wrap. Like, we know Jenny won. It's cool. And why were we doing a recap? I can't fathom that.
And they're not showing us like the number of points that like they're gaining, because they know if they show it, it's like, all right, Jordan's got 15 points and everybody else got less than 10, or Jenny's got 12 points and everybody else got less than 8. So they're kind of showing their hand. The funny thing about seeing Jenny's life is they kind of had the pictures on a delay, and for a second I thought her dad, she's called her boyfriend, and that's
Yeah,
be
I
like,
was
wait, hold on.
confused.
My God, she went for the zaddy.
Production dropped the ball. They're dropping the ball. I would have liked some arrows at first saying which one was her and the twin, because I was like, I think that's her because of the lips, but
Yeah,
that was the
lips
only
give it
identifying and the hair color.
listen, we got to get to it. I know it comes at the end, but in the beginning, who told production that we wanted to see her complain this whole time? It was so fucking off-putting. Like, shut up. Just like enough. It's just too much.
The only benefit is we get to see Jordan start getting pissy again. The old Jordan starts coming out. I'm like, yes, here we go. Yell at her, Jordan. Give us some spice. Give us something. I will also say my favorite part of the whole episode, the only thing worthy of like rewinding and rewatching had to be Johnny with the white whale. I was dying.
He caught me with that too. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, oh, they got whales out there? And then
oh my gosh. And then Jenny was like, so there's no white whale. And they're like,
I'm gonna tell you my favorite moment. No
more London accent, I promise.
It's gonna come out again. It's gonna come out.
Bullocks.
My favorite part was when Michelle like dropped her mattress and the stuff went into Jordan's eyes, and he was so pissed.
He's like the levels of stupidity. I'm like,
I said, damn. Jordan said he's not about to be politically correct anymore. He's about to let it all out.
Yeah, he's done.
Fuck the race car driving career.
Yeah.
While out on him.
Oh, what about his other lines? Like, you can want in one hand and shit in the other.
In the other,
Oh my god.
Oh. Hey, Jordan was on
Jordan.
One.
We needed this side of. We've been missing this Jordan. We haven't seen him all season, but I think he's tired and he's sick of this shit. He wants to just finish this and be done and get away from these people for a while.
But Johnny's been a little low key though. Like, I think he feels like he made a comment in it. He was like, well, let's just give it to Jordan now, or something along like this challenge is basically made for him. Like, it's like an all water one. So if you're not a strong swimmer, then it's gonna be a tough one to win.
But I mean, he's also battling out with Derek, who, Derek's better, we've said, but it's still Johnny. But I wonder if Father Time is catching up a little bit here, because he's struggling to keep the pace for a legend that he is.
Mm-hmm. It's bound to happen, which it sucks. I hate saying that, because I know you can be older and still be fit and stuff. The problem is when people are younger, half your age sometimes, and are just as fit as you, they're going to have, naturally, your body just has more endurance, because they're also some trained athletes. So that's the problem. If he was going against a bunch of people that don't train, who don't work out, he'd kill them, even if they're half his age. But these people came to play, most of them.
Yeah. And, we're seeing it with Rachel, too, who's having trouble keeping up between the swimming and the puzzles. Jenny is a little bit older. I wonder if, as well, she's like, I think 37, so she's one of the older ones by age. But I wonder if swimming in the ocean versus swimming in a pool or like a calm body of water helped her out, because it's a little more like weight resistance. So I noted that the waves were serious. So,
so I have nothing to do with water. I am anti-water completely. So me and that challenge would be non-existent, especially because they don't have life jackets. I'd have like, just give me that 0. Give me the L.
You're like, ocean water, pool water, kiddie pool water, it don't matter.
It don't matter to me. None of that. I ain't having none of that.
So another big reveal was the karma points. After we find out that this is going to factor into the general points of the finale, what you guys think? Was it worth the wait? Was it worth the build-up? Or did it fall a little flat?
No, it was what we were saying. We call it once your current points. Like, all right, it's either gonna go their total in some way, shape, or form, or give them better positioning in the finals, and that's typically what it was. So, I mean, it wasn't anything. There wasn't no real twist. It was just what we expected, and I'm still kind of shocked that there were no real major twists. I mean, the karma points, I guess, but other than that, going into singles was expected, and that's it. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they dropped the ball. There's so many twists they could have done, but if it's just the karma points, it's just, I don't know. It's just nothing. It's nothing exciting about it. I mean, I guess you can say, well, maybe Jordan might not win. Maybe, depending on how they handle the points, somebody that's second or third place might win. But then, I don't know. It kind of feels like cheating in a way too. It's like fucking Derek's third place, with 10 points, but he has 25 karma points, so now he wins. I don't know.
Then you're rewarding boring behavior, like like Johnny, who acted bad this season, or anybody who acted sort of bad got hit with the karma points, and it's like, okay, so next season no one's gonna be doing anything controversial because everybody's afraid there might be karma points. So
yeah.
I thought it was funny. If you rewatch when TJ's telling them, I was like, I made us rewind it, rewatch. I was like, look how uninterested and how much they don't care. And production must have been like, you guys, when he's done, you need to cheer, because they're all like this.
yeah,
They could care less. They're like, we knew this was coming. And he's like, these karma points. And they're all like,
I clocked that.
they could care less. Yeah. And then it's like, where it'll make an advantage. Keep around. Like, so awkward and uncomfortable and badly produced. Very badly produced, that part.
But the majority of people that are left, are, like you were saying, Eric, are the ones that kind of cause trouble, right? So some of them, I would say probably 50-50. So they probably weren't happy about hearing about karma points. Like Johnny definitely wasn't happy about it.
Yeah. During that kind of reveal, you can tell Johnny was the only one trained to say, hey, when they tell us something, we got to play it up, because if we don't care, nobody else is going to care. And nobody there cared. He was the only one who's like, oh, I thought you wanted just to say goodbye. Come on, guys. Give us something. Like, give us some reaction. But you're right. They didn't care. Or they saw it coming. But
100%. I think especially when you see people stay behind, they all knew something extra was happening. They might not have known what, but they knew some kind of twist was coming, some kind of... Because you don't keep them. Usually they leave beforehand, like as soon as they're done, and TJ says, all right, you win, they leave. And then and the rest of the cast gets walked out. So, I mean, they knew. They knew.
so was there anyone, as they were casting the votes and saying what they were going to vote for, that stood out or surprised you? I mean, we got the typical Amanda hates Tori figures, or Devin hates bananas, or then Rachel cry about it. But anybody who surprised you, or you were like glad they got their vengeance?
I think Leroy will be the only one, because he said, he made a comment about, I want to help somebody who hasn't won. And you would think Johnny is his number one in this finale. So Johnny would have, but at that time you don't also know who's going to finale, but you still think, and he may have still given Johnny a 5. We don't know, but he definitely seemed like he was going to try to shake things up, So it can be surprising. Derek played a very good social game. That's, one of his strong points. I'm like, could it be crazy that maybe he takes over a placement, like goes from like third to second or fourth to third, just because of those points? It's possible.
Also, I think Laurel did. I don't think she voted for bananas. I gave him a 5 at least.
She gave him a 1. She said it, I think, in her
like,
episode.
Damn. And she was an angel, right? So it's kind of shocking.
Jealous one's envy. Their true colors are coming out. Come on, Leroy. You know how far Johnny's got you in the past. You play well, but Johnny's always got your back. Never stabbed your back. And even if you gave him a 5, just to make the comment, it's just like weird to me. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, it was very weird.
He wins again.
Yep.
Yeah. I was shocked. I was, like Nora said, I was a little like, I wasn't expecting that from Leroy.
Same thing with Laurel, even though we already knew she was not voting high for bananas. I think she voted Jordan pretty highly, if I remember correctly. Or we can assume if it wasn't this episode. Although I did see a clip somewhere where she's going to stand up for him at the reunion too. It was just like an odd clip that I saw. And I'm like, come on, you can give them both 5s. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah, it's not one or the other. It's not. I gave Jordan a 5. I can't give Johnny a 5. It's not like that. Unless they say you only have if you're only allowed to give a certain amount of 5s.
Yeah.
Jenny, no surprise, is going to get a lot of low votes. People didn't like that she became an angel. So it looks like the only person they're counting on is Aviv to help them out with their stat score. But I don't think
that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
No.
No.
And Tori, what do you guys think Tori will fare in the karma scale? Because she's, I don't know. I feel like it could go either way. Or maybe middle.
I think middle.
Yeah. She has a lot of friends that went home. Anissa, Devin, brother. So they're all going to give her 5s. And then Amanda, I think hers counts as half a point because she's so tiny.
And Rachel will do middle kind of ground too, because she had a lot of friends that went home throughout the season that will still have given her great numbers.
I feel like Rachel might be on the higher scale, though.
Yeah, maybe.
She has a whole era.
Yeah, it was like she has a whole era, and then she has people from the other season that probably respect her and watched her growing up. Yeah. And she didn't do anything, I think, to outwardly against anybody, from what I remember early on.
Except for Janae. I think Janae scored her low. I think she's the one. But you see how, like, if they had to go to Janae, who we didn't even see that,
yeah,
that tension. I don't know whose feathers she really ruffled.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing much just because of her personality.
Yeah, it's not her forte. That's more of, Tina out of the Three Musketeers. Like, that's Tina and that group.
Tina would get a little much.
Rachel's never been but yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see. I think if I were to guess, the karma points will help Derek surpass Johnny. I think Banana's going to get third and Derek will jump him because he's getting all 5s. On the women's side, it is close to see who's going to be... I mean, Jenny hasn't run away with it, but it's going to be tough to catch her. Unless she quits, because it looks like she's reaching her end point. I don't think she is. I think they're trying to trick us. But if Michelle gets second place, I think I could see someone jumping her as long as either Tori or Rachel do a lot better on the second day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think it just depends on what comes on that second day. I can't tell if they will keep it all water or if it's a way to trick them to think it's going to be all water and then to put them on land. I don't know.
And I don't know if they're ever going to figure out that when they hire a swimsuit company to actually make them swim in swimsuits rather than sneakers and tights.
I don't understand. Even give them like a full-on wetsuits, like triathlon. I mean, this is like a I don't know what's happening. I can't understand. This whole season has just, from the outfits, everything is like, what the hell is going on? I don't know.
What did you gonna say, Eric?
I was just like, who thought it was a good idea to make them swim in running shoes? Like, why?
Yeah. Even I know that.
I don't know.
You're not a swimmer.
I don't know. And not to have clothes on shore that they can change, like that. I don't know. And maybe they're cutting things out. I don't know. But you see Johnny, the first one, he's like takes off his shoes. He's putting them back. Like he's struggling because his feet are probably sliding in and out of the shoes. I don't fully get it.
Hopefully they didn't sign a multi-year contract on that one. I want to read off some of the checkpoints and see which one y'all enjoyed or which one we can throw into the deep of the ocean. Checkpoint 1 was Sandblast, where they had to swim, run back and forth, put together the puzzle, and then swim back. Ghost Ship, where they swam from one ship to another, solve the puzzle that was underneath, where the key was underneath the boat, jump on the boat and do the puzzle. 1,000 Steps, where they had to climb 1,000 steps. Very good title. And then swim, see an image in the trees, and then go do the puzzle. And then we saw the first glimpse of the overnight checkpoint, where they count up quarters and sing a pub tune for 30-minute increments.
Oh, that was 30 minutes?
Any standouts? Well, they get 30 minutes coins counting, and then the 30 minutes singing, and then back and forth until you finish.
All right. So what are the options?
What do you mean?
You said, is it good or bad? Like you said, go throw it in the ocean or keep it, or are we scaling it, or?
Oh, that's a good idea. If you would have hoped a little bit more from one of them, it's up to you.
I'll start with the puzzle where it was just like the skeleton face. I didn't understand why that one was that hard. I mean, swimming part, yes, is hard because it's later, and I guess it's because it's later in the day, so maybe that's why they made it easier. But I was like, I mean, and I didn't get the point of the, like, where they could sit. And even you see Kylan, he's like, because he's having that cramp, he doesn't even, I didn't understand why they had that platform for you to sit.
Nobody even sat.
I know. I was like, I don't understand. So that was weird. I don't know. That one seemed a little like they just kind of threw it in at the end, like we just need something. I don't know.
Yeah, and it looked like it was an ode to the Kikuchi tunnel one, because you had to do a similar puzzle, and this time Johnny did know that you had to flip the different sides. But if you're gonna like go back to one, make it better. And I don't think this one was that much better. 1,000 steps looked all right.
Yeah. I did like where they had to do the boat one, like go under the boat, but just because of the endurance of that. But once again, it sucks for those who have no swimming endurance, because that's all swimming. There was nothing else other than the puzzle, which it didn't matter because you still had to use swimming skill to do the puzzle.
All right, I'm gonna go in order. The sandblast, I'm gonna give that I'm gonna give it out of 5. I'm just gonna do it out of 5. I'm gonna give it like a 3 out of 5. I think it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I mean, running back and forth. The puzzle didn't seem too difficult, except maybe for Johnny. But I think other than that, it was all right. Rachel too. The second one was the ghost ship, right? That's when they went. I thought that was cool. I mean, again, if it sucks if you can't swim or dive, I could definitely not do that anyway. So I'm already impressed by them being able to do that and then dive and go back and forth. So I'd give that one. I thought it was like a 4 out of 5. I thought it was cool because they had to memorize, but there was also, they had to pay attention to the detail, which, some people weren't able to get.
That was my favorite one.
Yeah, I like that one. Third one was that's the face, the skull. I thought that was pretty cool. I like
1,000 steps. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, the 1,000 steps one was the third one, right? I'll give it like a 2. It's 2. And then the fourth one was the face and the skull face, right?
No, that was the second part of the 1,000
Oh,
steps.
the first one then. I like that part.
Up first and then do the puzzle.
I'll raise up the score to like a.
So the last one was the overnight checkpoint.
And that one is still going on, right? The coin.
Yeah.
I like it. I'm gonna give that a 5. I like this. I love freaking like old school like Celtic Irish music, pirate shanties. Like I love all that because it has so much soul and stuff. I mean, not that particular song, but I just think it's funny to have them have to sing this song for 30 minutes and go back and count and do it. I thought it was funny. So maybe not in terms of challenge aspect, but just out of entertainment, I'll give it a 5.
A torture aspect, that I think is like,
that's for me.
I don't know,
like
is
that.
Standing on top of like a little stool harder, or is that's more like physically challenging maybe, but the singing and the counting, that's brutal.
Yeah.
No sleep, swimming all day.
That's messed up. I don't think the second day is gonna be like as long as the first day. It might just be like one. I think usually they do that sometimes when, especially if it's an overnight one and they didn't get that much sleep. It's usually all right. Climb to the top of the mountain, and then touch the flag, and then that's the end. So I don't see the second day being too. I don't see it being too long. How the first day was. I don't see it being like multi challenges. Maybe 1, maybe 2 tops.
Yeah, I agree. It's probably like 1 to 2 checkpoints left, because at a certain point, I think just even shooting that long is like probably really bad for the crew. So they're like, "Fuck that, we're not winning money here. So
yeah,
let's cut it short." But it kind of also shows like, it's like 2 more checkpoints left. Can anybody catch Jordan? And it's like, unless he got 0 or carbo points, probably not, knowing that there's only a couple of shots to catch him.
They would have to rank as 4th place, you know, in those ones to have a chance for anybody else.
Do we think this finale is not going to have an eating challenge?
Good point. I don't know. We already saw some vomiting.
It might, because in
that's
the
what I'm
morning,
asking.
in the morning, it's usually right. Sometimes like, all right, you guys had a long night. Here's breakfast, and it's gonna be like rotten seafood or some shit because they're in the sea. Ugh, that'd be horrible.
The only theory I have is that maybe that's why it'll be more land-based, because I don't think they're going to have them eat a bunch of crap and swim in the case that they might vomit in the water and choke, you know? I don't know, but I don't know what they'll do.
That would be putting they've put people's life at risk before, but
Yeah.
that might be, everybody knows, don't swim after eating.
30 minutes, right? That's what they used to tell us. 30. Even I know that. 30 minutes after. That's what they used to tell us in high school and elementary. But teachers would be like, fuck that rules. Just go and eat and jump right in. Good luck.
Yeah. I would be curious to see who, can Kylan make a mini little comeback on the eating, maybe.
He can eat. I seen it. Yeah, he can eat.
Yeah. But then if there's a swim back.
Yeah.
No more swimming. Leave my boy alone. He's trying.
I love when he used the buoy to help hold him up, and he was just like a little kid going. I was like, that's all right, Kylan. At least you're going. You're not complaining. He hasn't complained once about, like, this isn't fair, da-da-da, or, he's just going.
Yeah. Yeah, he's making his snaps like, you got to be Aquaman to win, but it's kind of funny. It's like
Yeah.
Oh, what about him peeing on the sign?
Oh my God, that
like,
was
what
hilarious.
If they DQ him? I was like, imagine they're like, no, you're DQ'd. You can't piss on production stuff. Because somebody has to now go pick that up. Like, they don't get to just leave it in the jungle, but...
I feel for him. He was like, fuck this shit.
Yeah.
Psst.
I like how they made Jordan read it, like, stay on the course at all times. It's like, hey, Jordan, don't fuck up Anissa's ankle again by trying to run through the jungle. So, they be knowing who to tell.
Yeah. What did you guys think? And I don't know if you caught this, but when we were watching, I noticed Jordan wasn't destroying his puzzles. Do we think production they just go and do it for them? Or is that... Like, why wasn't Jordan this time? None of them. None of his puzzles, from when he did, the ship one to the sandblast or whatever it's called. He didn't destroy any of them.
The first one, I saw that he was next to Tori, and I peeped that, and I was like, oh, maybe he's trying to help Tori out. Johnny left his as well, because Rachel was the last one there.
Yeah.
So I think it's strategic. Jordan did ruin the skull one because Jenny was the only one there with him. So I was like wondering, okay, this time you did ruin it. I wonder, it's like depends on who's next to you. So
I could see that.
Help.
How about your ally?
Yeah. Trying to, keep that warm. You never know. She might return to you one day.
I'm sure if he wanted her, I feel like Tori would easily like, if Jordan's like, all right, let's give it another try. I feel like she just, as soon as he said let's, her pains already be off. She already be in his arms. And
are you saying that because you're judging her for Kellyanne saying you got an OnlyFans that does well, and now you're like, oh, Tori, take it off easily for Jordan?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think Tori would definitely go back to Jordan, give him the chance, give him the booty.
What do we think about Michelle trying to cheat off Tori while they were still completing it, and her trying to justify, like, well, I'm ahead of you, and she's like, but you're wrong, so you're really not. I was just like, man, more sneakiness.
Mm-hmm. And if you're gonna do it, just own it. Be like, well, I want to win too. Like, why are you trying to justify you doing it? Just say, I want to win. You're stronger, you're bigger, so this is where I'm gonna try to take advantage. I mean, just say it. I'd like her more for it. Like,
Same.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah, own up to it.
Yeah.
It's like, well, no peeking. I was like, not
Okay.
part of the rules, but thanks.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Ruin your shit
I
then.
would literally just be like, well, the production wouldn't put us right next to each other. I mean, if they
Yeah.
didn't want us cheating, if it was against the rules.
Yeah.
It-
I'm always, and I know it's like the exhaustion and stuff like that, but I always get annoyed when the challengers are like, it's right. How can it be wrong? And it's like,
Yeah.
unless you're Jenny and your shit is wrong and they'll say it's right. No, it's wrong. Do it again. Like, and she just sat there the whole time. It's like, it's right. And I'm like, it's not. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, get it together.
They just
Maybe
want
that's
it to be
Survivor
right.
type stuff.
yeah.
I don't know.
So do we think that it's gonna just be Jenny and Jordan at the end?
Unless Jordan decapitates Jenny for the next episode because she's talking so much and he's had enough of it. It looks like they're the ones to beat.
Yeah.
We'll know for sure if in next episode we do. Well, no,
Jordan.
because they already. Yeah, but Jordan, they kind of. Well, did they recap him? I can't remember if it was this episode or last episode. They recapped him about the race car thing and everything.
Yeah,
so I
this
mean,
episode.
so they made it very clear who's. I mean, I don't, and maybe you correct me if I'm wrong, or watchers correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they've ever done recaps and finales like that. Like spending a good 4 or 5 minutes on somebody's backstory of their life in a finale.
Not in the finale. I don't remember.
Yeah, not the finale. I don't. Usually finale, it's 100 all the way through. They're just going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember them doing season recaps. Here's what I had to do this season to get here. And that's really at the end. But man, are they really struggling to fill 2 episodes by saying, hey, Rachel, tell us again that you're married and you have kids? I'm like,
Yeah. And it's I think they were overzealous with the time slot that they picked. Because for me, the show, I know sometimes they have extended clips, but it's an hour and maybe sometimes a little over an hour or around there. And I'm I feel 40 minutes would have been enough if they just cut out all the fluff.
Yeah. As our listeners and watchers keep saying, man, the production, they're not popular people with the fans. I don't think some of the challengers like production, the way they're talking shit about them. Listen, they got 10 seasons to get it together for season 50. Figure the shit out.
Is it us, the viewers, that we overhyped this in our head because it was such a big season in our head that we thought, hey, this is going to be epic. And in reality, it's I was telling Victor, last season, right?
Yeah, last season.
I think it was probably the worst season of the challenge. And this is close to being the second or third. I can't think of a more uneventful, not great, kind of not put together, messy, badly produced. Maybe we're just too, we expected more. And maybe if we didn't expect that much, then maybe watching it wouldn't feel such a letdown a lot of the episodes. Because now, I'm for Rivals, that lineup, maybe it's just Turbo, I don't know, but that has me hyped. I'm excited because I know we're going to probably have a good episode. Now, granted, maybe when we start watching it won't be, but we're for sure going to have some juicy episodes, I think.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just this is a finale and you couldn't find enough to fill this. The competition itself, you couldn't fill enough to fill this episode is crazy to me.
I think, I don't think we overhyped it. I think this is season 40. I think we should have been hyped for it. I just don't think production carried through with the expectations of the fan. This is the 40th season. The challenge has been getting, a lot of popularity. It's been bringing a lot of people from other shows. So there were more eyes on it from a lot of different audiences and other people. I don't know if they took that into consideration when doing the final or the whole season. But I do think it should have been, I don't know, it should have been more. I don't think we expected too much. I think we expected an appropriate level. We just didn't get it. And I think, to me, one of the best runs, besides the early ones, I love The Island, I love Inferno and Gauntlets, they were all really good too. But for me, I like the season around the 30s Total Madness, 30-30, Spies Allies. Some of them were just different and they were trying new things. But I mean, some of them were cool. They were cool. They were fun. There were some twists. I just feel like season 4 you didn't have no major twist. And I think that's what we all kind of expect. Some kind of twist. Something is gonna happen. Something. They're gonna bring in mercenaries one season. Another one they have like half the season is the new people, and then they're bringing the vets, and now it's a whole new game. So I don't think we expected more. I just think they didn't deliver it, and I'm hoping for virals they do.
Yeah, I agree. The last season I really enjoyed was Ride or Dies. But even that one, there was a joke where they brought in a bunch of people who were not Ride or Dies.
Yeah.
Okay, and they got sent home real
Anissa.
quick. Oh, yeah, but at least we had to have Jordan on the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
So, but, it is what it is. But we got some good cast members. But since then, and maybe a little bit before then, they've been messing up the casting a little bit, and they've been messing up the format. And when you don't have both, it's rough. I think starting off with big teams this season, starting off with 40 or 50 people, or I guess it was 40, very ambitious, didn't work out. And then you just had everybody picking on, or not even picking, losing everyone. And it just fell apart where the casting as well, personality. I don't think they know what we want. We don't want constant reminders that Corey has a family. One time a season, sure. Tell me Corey, Rachel, yes, of course I want to see how they're doing. But that being their entire storyline and nothing happening in the house, that's not what we wanted. So you have to force people, if they're not doing it on their own, force people to have some tension. Otherwise, it's boring.
Yeah, I agree.
Congrats to Jordan. He's going to be a 5-time champion. Jenny, hopefully she gets her second win and she can retire. I think we're good on that.
Yeah.
And everyone else, see you when I see you. I can't wait for All-Star Rivals.
Right. What was the other one where they had the lovers come in, like the ex-lovers?
X's, yeah.
Exes? Okay, exes. Oh, yeah, exes. I would love a season of exes. I would love a new season of exes.
They got to do it. They got to do it. And even if they
hookups.
bring it from, I guess, what's the show? Are You the One or Love Island? We got some good people from. You're not going to go 100 for 100, but yeah, bring in some exes from those shows because they're still young, they're still single, and they're still ready to cause chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or bring back Real World. I don't know if I'll watch it, but at least.
But get cast members.
You get a season.
Yeah.
All right. Any questions for next week's episode before we sign off?
Normally I would say, who do people think is going to win? But I'm like, is that even...
Let's ask the question to them anyway. Do you think that Jordan is going to run away with this? Or do you think Karma is going to get him in the end? Ooh.
I think Laurel is going to get him in the end.
Laurel.
5 points. There you go. What about, at least the women is closer. Do we think Jenny runs away with it? Or
I was going to, I had a quick point I wanted to make. I feel like it should have been an individual final. Like not a man and a woman separated. I feel like this final is one that's even enough to where anybody can win. It's not, you don't need like physical strength, so you don't have to split it up. I feel like it should have been just who's the best, out of all the seasons.
I think
the women have the lead. What was that?
I think we're going to see in day 2 something heavy is being carried. Because if you look in the interview, they're gashed up like they're carrying concrete or logs or something. All their arms, especially the girls. I haven't noticed it on the guys, but all the girls, their arms are like cut and rashed over. So that I don't think that's happening from the water. They don't have anything they're pulling on them. And the life vests don't hit their anytime. There's nothing touching their arms. So that's why I'm like, I think we might see some carrying, but I don't know.
And I think if you do say from the beginning or halfway at some point saying it's an individual winner for first, second, third, man or woman, I think they make more of an effort to get Jordan in, to get him to go home. Because
Yeah.
like the women players had no no reason to throw him in. Tori, Rachel, if they're like, it's either him or you, I think they boss up and send him in. So
It would have spiced things up.
but yeah. All right. Who do you guys think is going to win? And I'll take those bets because I like my odds. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.